moving to Mr. Chris Mcdonough for his closing remarks. Sir has been with us since yesterday, and it has truly been a pleasure. Just giving a short introduction on the second day. We have the opportunity only on the second day. He is the FITOL and MITD managing partner and consultant with CMD Group, is a professional trainer and speaker specializing in the area of leadership and management in organizations. Chris's approach to training reflects his considerable experience working with a huge range of public and private sector clients. His motivation and enthusiasm, together with his high-level energy, brings life to a classroom and energizes his learners. His professional approach, coupled with his thorough knowledge of the subject matter, ensures all learners gain an abundance of skills that transfer to the workplace. It is our pleasure to have you with us, Mr. Chris. Over to you for the closing remarks. Sir, you're muted. Request you to please unmute. Yeah.
My apologies. Thank you, Neha, for that introduction. And it's been a pleasure to be here with you for the last 2 days on screen beside me here. You've done a fantastic job. I am delighted on behalf of the Conference and Certification Committee of IFTDO to be able to give the closing address at this conference, or at this virtual curtain raiser to what's, by all accounts, is going to be a fantastic event in April. And I certainly am looking forward to getting out away from technology and meeting you all in person. So at the start, I suppose this morning, Ranjan, our president, set the tone, because he said that, you know, staying put is not an option, and that we risk being left behind if we don't continue to grow. And that's very true. And I think that's the message that came across throughout the whole conference today. Dr. Jack Phillips, in his keynote address, spoke about the great progress made in training and development over the past number of years. But he said there's still a lot to be done and that serious change is needed. But he also said that the future is bright for training and development, or learning and development, and he gave us a lot of tools and a lot of ideas and takeaways to do that. Dr. Tanvia gave a fantastic address on creating a high-performance culture for a post-COVID world. And the one, you know, she gave us a lot to take away, but the one message I took from her address was ask for help and do not be afraid to ask for help. Of course, after that, we had Roy from the Singapore Training and Development, who chaired a panel discussion and had very interesting topic on the sustaining agility in organizations in developing and emerging economies. And again, that was really insightful, and it brought the evening to a lovely finish. Today, we started off again with a panel discussion, and wow, was that full of energy. Vikas and his 3 speakers really gave us something to think about, and got a good debate going on, which I would love to have continued on for another half an hour if we had the time, because we could just, I think we had just warmed up and was getting into it. But so be it the time. But Nicole actually summed up that session very nicely when she says, agile culture is no longer a choice. I think that's really what, you know, is coming across very, very clearly. Of course, then we had our fireside chat by 2 highly energized and knowledgeable experts. And I don't, you know, it's fresh in your mind, the discussion. Again, good debate by 2 good people. But the one message that they got across was, you know, they highlighted the need for business agility. You know, Dr. Paddy brought on the idea that we, you know, her message was that we need to think about diversity, equality, and innovation. And again, in her usual ways, she leaves it, you know, she gives us loads to think about and always leads us to do an action. So go and download some of her stuff and have a look at some of her stuff. But to try and finish my closing remarks on the start, I usually have 2 or 3 finishes or attempts at finishing. But I want to try and to use some of the words of Jack Phillips in what he said in his speech or his keynote address this morning. He stated that L&D has made great progress. And I think these words apply very aptly to the Institute or the Federation of Training and Development, because IFTDO has made great progress. But he said there's a lot to do and serious changes needed. And I think that applies to IFTDO. But he also said the future is bright. And I think that really applies to IFTDO. And I think under the chairmanship of our esteemed colleague, Dr. Albana, over the last 2 years, he has grasped that nettle and he is bringing that change to this organization. He has brought new blood into the organization. He has done great work behind the scenes. And as Patty said there in her address, a lot of good things is happening. Dr. Albana has driven a board. He has energized the board. He talked in his fireside chat with Dr. Gotham about strategy and about what he was doing. And I think that's exactly it. He's reviewing the strategy that we put in place last year, which is very good. But there was 2 notable developments that he has brought to the table. Number one, he launched a worldwide, a global employability program. And the partnership with ITOL, the Institute of Training and Occupational Learning, which we're now able to offer those training programs to our members. There's huge, great things going on in IFTDO, and it's a credit to Dr. Albana for his leadership and foresight in taking this into new ways. So, you know, he is doing what we're talking about today and bringing agility into IFTDO. Finally, I want to congratulate Dr. Nataraj and all the people in ISTD, each and every one of them, for this absolutely fantastic conference here today. And I think just calling it a curtain raiser probably undermines what it really was, because it was full of life. And if this is anything to go by what the April is going to be in New Delhi, this is going to be brilliant. So don't waste time. As soon as the details of it comes out, get out there and let's meet each other in person. Thank you, everybody that made this conference, this curtain raiser, so fantastic. It has been my pleasure to be part of it for the last 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris, for that wonderful sum up of 2 insightful days that we had. And once again, it has been a pleasure to have you with us for this curtain raiser.